Welcome back to DAP Build. Today I am continuing progress on the chassis. Yes, I have finally gone away with the scrap steel. It is back hiding behind me here, and had a little bit of time during the week to take a suggestion from Ian in the comments from last week actually, getting some trestles, sawhorses, whatever you want to call them, and now supporting the chassis on top of those. So more easy access to everything, and of course I can work on things instead of crouching down. Not that my knees really have a problem, but nevertheless this does make it easier, especially for welding up the little missing piece here. So I have been practicing on some slightly thick steel. I'm not going to bore you with that really, but I'm just going to take my time doing this section here and get it nice and neat. So that's sorted, and then more or less move on to then rough converting the interior of this, and then potentially I most likely will also fish oil the inside of it. So I was originally going to do the wax oil treatment, but as mentioned prior, having quite a trouble of trying to find any within the country. So searching for alternatives, posted up on some groups, and people have kind of given me their opinions and whatnot. Fish oil seems to be the way to go. I have used it in the past. It's a great success. It's still tacky to this day actually, and that was done, geez, about 20 years ago. So I can attest that that is going to be quite suitable for this job. So I've already done a bit of a cleanup actually, so it's already been outside, blown it right out, done a bit of a wipe over. The one thing I was contemplating whether I was going to do was remove the heater arm cable channels, because the way I'm going to do it most likely will not require those, but I'm still kind of in two minds. I don't really know what to do yet at this point, so I think I'm going to leave them there. But once I had this propped up and lifted, looking underneath, the area where those heater control levers were, it's a bit tricky, and the problem is I can't simply cut away the support brackets. That support bracket also supports the park brake, so it does need to be there, and I can't even modify it to make it smaller because of the way they've simply done it. So I'm gonna have to live with it. Whether I slice the bolts off and remove them out of the way, I don't know yet, but I'll most likely just have a leather boot covering that entire area of the park brake itself, just so it looks a bit nicer and neater. So when I look down there, I'm not going to see a great big mess of metal and all that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure on the Volkswagens themselves, all you see is the carpet meeting that area, and then you kind of see this, but I don't know. I haven't seen a later model bug interior to 100% comment on that one. But nevertheless, moving on, I'm going to be working on welding this section up, and then we'll see where things take us.
Don't stop. 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 don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't.
The cleanup is an absolute nightmare. Unfortunately, I was rather heavy-handed when doing the welding, of course, you know, amateur. But yeah, I've got it mostly on this side anyway, and still not perfect. The ripples are still there. I can still see the outline of the weld over around the metal. I'm never going to get it back to completely flat, at least not with my skills anyway. It's just a factor of just going through it, but everything is glitterized from all the metal shavings. So I'm not really enjoying this part, to be honest, and I knew this would be the case, all the cleanup, getting this back to flat. But it's just because of it's right on the cusp of it, on the bottom, I'm having trouble getting to it. I really need to do this top side. So I'm thinking I might leave the rest of the cleanup here. Once the pan's flipped over again, I'm still tossing up. I might actually do a bit of welding inside because I can see a few specks of daylight, a few little pit holes and everything like that. So I might, for now, just leave that alone, do a bit of tacking on the inside, and then, yeah, once the pan's flipped over, I'll then clean that right up. It's just, yeah, it's a horrible, dirty mess at the moment. Yeah, so I'll do a bit more tacking welding on the inside and some grinding down off camera. I think that's pretty much going to do it though.
Stop.
Overall, I'm quite happy with the progress I've made. Finally getting that patch into place, even though it's not 100% complete, but at least now the tunnel has mostly all the bits concealed. A few screw holes I've still got to weld over. I'll do that as well on the inside, just so it's not as much cleanup. I don't really need to worry about the inside of the tunnel, so if it's a bit blobby and grotesque, it doesn't really matter. Definitely, this front piece has been replaced at some point. Looking down the guts here, this has been redone, and it's, yeah, pretty average work as well. So realistically, my small amount of external imperfections, I'm not too fussed. I was hoping to leave this tunnel bare, and I don't think I'm going to get that flat enough to be able to just blend over the surface. I am going to use Replica, but I don't think it's going to fill it enough to make it look uniform. So it is just going to be a really obvious bare patch. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I could get away with it, but I really wish they hadn't cut that stupid hole out, but it's done. I can't do anything about it. So that's it. That's going to do it again today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, like, subscribe, comment below, etc. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor that persistence, perseverance, and a lot of swearing eventually gets you to where you want to be. So yeah, just keep at it. Anyway, guys, until next time, cheers.